ever get stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
Like the same stuff every day. Some good, some not so good.
Yeah, totally.
So today we're going to dive into Atomic Habits. It's by this guy, James Clear.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
He basically says that like little tiny changes
Like Atomic, right?
can make huge changes in your life.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really interesting about this book is that it talks about like how we always focus on the results.
Oh, for sure.
Like we want to be fitter or like have a cleaner house.
Well, that stuff, yeah.
But this book is really about the system
The system.
that creates those results.
Okay, so it's not about like waking up one day and being able to run a marathon.
No, definitely not.
It's about like the steps you take every day.
Yeah, the daily jogs, right?
Yeah, the little things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that he talks about is this idea of compounding.
Okay.
Like compound interest.
Hmm.
You put a little bit of money in, and then over time,
Grows like crazy.
it grows like crazy. And so habits are the same way.
Okay, so instead of trying to change everything all at once,
Exactly.
you're just making these tiny
1% improvements.
1% improvements every day
That over time,
lead to big changes.
huge results.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
But how do we even, like, start?
Yeah, that's the big question, right?
Because willpower, it doesn't work for me.
Well, one of the things that he talks about is understanding the habit loop.
Okay.
And this is like a recipe that our brains follow.
Recipe.
Yeah, it's like cue, craving, response, and then reward.
Okay.
So think about like your morning coffee routine.
Okay.
The cue is maybe like the smell of the coffee brewing.
Yeah, I love that smell.
The craving is, you want that caffeine hit.
Yeah.
The response is you actually going and making the coffee.
Yeah.
And then the reward is that delicious first sip.
Oh, the first sip, it's so good.
So good.
But okay, I get it. It happens all the time in my life. But how do we make it work for us? Like, for good habits?
Yeah. So there's this thing called habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
Yeah, you basically attach a new habit to one you already do without even thinking.
Okay.
So like after I pour my coffee, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes.
So you're using that first thing
Yeah, the existing habit.
to kind of like kick off the new habit.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's also this thing called temptation bundling.
Ooh, temptation bundling.
So you pair something you need to do
Right.
with something you want to do.
Okay.
So like only watch your favorite show while you're on the treadmill.
Ooh, so I'm tricking myself.
Yeah, kind of.
Make the good thing
More appealing.
more appealing.
Exactly.
Okay, I can see how this works. But, sometimes I just lose motivation.
Oh, yeah. Motivation comes and goes.
Yeah. What about those times? Or like life gets in the way.
Well, this is where the book gets really interesting. It's not actually about willpower.
Oh, okay.
It's about changing your identity.
My identity.
Yeah, so if you see yourself as someone who prioritizes health, then working out isn't a chore.
It's just part of who you are.
It's just part of who you are.
Okay, that's a really cool way to think about it.
Yeah, and it's way more effective than just relying on motivation.
So it's not about like checking things off a to-do list.
Right.
It's about like actually becoming that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when the habits stick.
This makes me think about all those times I set these huge goals for myself.
Oh, yeah, we all do that.
And then I don't reach them right away.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible.
Yeah.
So maybe it's about like changing my focus
To the system.
to the system.
That's going to get me there.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah.
But how do we actually make that shift? Like, do we just decide to be a different person?
Well, it's more about aligning your actions with the person you want to be.
Okay.
So let's say you want to be a writer.
Oh.
Instead of focusing on publishing a book,
Which is the outcome.
which is the big outcome, yeah.
Yeah.
You focus on writing for 15 minutes every day.
Which is the system.
That's the system.
So it's like proving to myself that I am that person.
Exactly.
Through my actions.
Through your actions.
Fake it till you make it.
You could say that.
Okay.
And each time you do that,
Yeah.
you reinforce that identity.
Okay, so it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really like this idea of systems over goals. It's
Yeah.
like we get so caught up in that end result
Right.
that we forget to like enjoy the process.
Totally.
And if the process is, like all these tiny habits that are making us feel good, then it's like a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. And that actually reminds me of another thing that Claire talks about,
Oh, okay.
which is the 4 laws of behavior change.
Okay, the 4 laws of behavior change.
Yeah.
What are those?
So it's basically like a framework for making good habits easier
Okay,
and bad habits harder.
got it. So Like, how do we actually use these laws?
Okay, so the first law is make it obvious.
Make it obvious. Okay.
So for good habits, this means like designing your environment to give you cues.
Okay.
Like if you want to drink more water,
Right.
keep a full glass on your desk.
Oh, so you see it all the time.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, I should probably drink that.
Yeah, and then for bad habits, it's about removing the triggers.
Okay.
So like, can't resist those late night snacks.
Oh, yeah. That's me.
Hide the junk food.
Put it away where I can't see it.
Exactly.
So we're basically setting ourselves up
Yeah.
for success or failure.
From the start. Yeah.
Even before we start.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
The second law is make it attractive.
Make it attractive. Okay.
So we're way more likely to stick to habits that we enjoy.
Right.
So find ways to make those good habits appealing.
Okay.
Like, remember temptation bundling.
Yeah.
Maybe you only listen to your favorite podcast
Uh-huh.
while you're cooking a healthy meal.
Okay, so I'm like tricking my brain into wanting to do the good thing.
Exactly. Yeah, make it a
Yes. A treat, not a chore.
not a chore.
Okay, I like it.
The third law is make it easy.
Make it easy, okay?
This is all about like reducing the friction
Okay.
and simplifying the process.
Okay.
So, want to start working out in the morning,
Yes?
lay out your clothes the night before.
So there's like one less step.
Exactly. One less obstacle.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
We're just like removing all the excuses
Yeah,
to not do the thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the fourth law is make it satisfying.
Make it satisfying.
So our brains love rewards.
Of course.
So you got to find ways to make those good habits immediately gratifying.
Okay.
So maybe you track your progress visually,
Okay, I can see that.
or you like celebrate small wins along the way.
Yeah, like little mini celebrations.
Celebrations.
So it's about finding that. Like,
That dopamine hit.
yeah, like a little rush.
Yeah, makes you feel good.
Because honestly, those long-term rewards can feel like,
So far away.
yeah, so far away.
So you need something to keep you going.
In the meantime, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, this is so helpful. It's like we've been trying to force ourselves to change.
Right.
When really it's just about like understanding how our brains work
Yeah, and then using that.
and using it to our advantage.
Totally.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Cool.
You know, one thing I struggle with is consistency.
Yeah.
I always start new habits with all this energy and excitement,
Mm-hmm.
but then like life happens and I lose momentum.
Yeah, that happens.
Is there anything in the book about like how to stay on track?
Yes. So Clear really emphasizes not getting discouraged by setbacks.
Okay.
Because we're all human.
Yeah.
We all mess up sometimes.
Total.
The key is to just like get back on track as quickly as possible.
Okay.
He calls this the 2-minute rule.
The 2-minute rule, what's that?
Okay, so it's pretty simple,
Okay.
but powerful.
Okay.
The idea is to scale back any new habit
Okay.
to something that can be done in 2 minutes or less.
2 minutes or less. Okay.
So, wanna start running?
Mm-hmm.
Just put on your shoes and walk out the door.
Yep.
Wanna write a book?
Yeah.
Just open your laptop and write one sentence.
So it's about making it so easy.
Ridiculously easy.
And you have no excuse not to do it.
Exactly.
Right.
And often, once you've started,
Yeah.
you'll just want to keep going.
You get into it.
Yeah, but even if you only do the 2 minutes,
Right.
you're still reinforcing that habit loop.
Okay.
So you're more likely to come back to it.
So I'm like outsmarting my own procrastination
Yeah, pretty
by
much.
making it so tiny
Yeah,
that I can't fail.
exactly.
Okay, I love that.
And it goes back to that, like, systems, not goals.
Yeah.
So the goal might be to run a marathon,
Right.
but the system is putting on your shoes and walking out the door every day.
The little things.
The little things. Yeah, focus on the system.
And the results will come.
Exactly.
I'm really starting to see this, like how these tiny little things
Mm-hmm.
can make a huge difference.
They really can.
It's like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not just about the destination. It's
Mhm.
about, like, enjoying the journey.
The process.
The process.
Yeah.
When we focus on building systems that we actually enjoy,
Yeah.
the process itself becomes the reward.
Oh, I like that.
And that's when real change happens.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not about like white knuckling our way to success.
Right.
It's about finding a way to make it like sustainable
Yeah.
and enjoyable.
And even fun.
Yeah, fun.
Exactly.
I think that's something we can all get behind.
I think so too.
Wow. This deep dive into Atomic Habits has been amazing.
Yeah, it's a really great book.
It feels like we've uncovered like a secret superpower.
Mm.
The power of these tiny little things we do every day
Yeah.
to make huge changes.
It's amazing how much impact those small choices can have.
Seriously, who knew?
Right.
And I think what I really like about Clear's approach is that anyone can do it.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't need to have like superhuman willpower
No, not
or
all.
some like big life-changing moment
You just need to understand how habits work.
and then use that knowledge.
Exactly.
It's like he's given us like a user manual for our brains.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
Once you know how it works, you can like upgrade it,
Totally.
make it better, make it work for you.
And create the life you want.
Okay, but even knowing that,
Mm.
it can still feel kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, where do we even start?
Well, Clear says
Yeah.
focus on just one habit at a time.
Okay, one habit.
Don't try to like change your whole life overnight.
Right.
Pick one small thing you want to change
Okay.
and put all your energy into that.
So it's like mastering that one tiny victory,
Yeah,
proving to yourself that you can do it.
exactly.
And then you build momentum
Mhm.
and move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so baby steps.
Baby steps.
And remember, it's not about being perfect.
No.
It's about making progress.
Progress over perfection.
There are going to be days when we slip up,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
when we miss a workout.
Or eat that extra cookie.
Yeah,
It happens.
but don't beat yourself up about it.
Exactly.
Just get back on track.
As soon as you can.
Yeah, it's like training for a marathon,
Oh, I like that.
not a sprint.
Mhm.
We got to pace ourselves.
Yeah,
Celebrate those little milestones along the way.
for sure.
Consistency is key.
Consistency, not perfection.
I love that.
It's a long game.
It really is.
And I think that highlights another important point.
Yeah.
The journey is just as important as the destination.
The process.
The process.
Yeah,
When we focus on building systems that we enjoy,
right.
the growth itself becomes a reward.
It's like we're rewiring our brains
Yeah.
to actually enjoy becoming better versions of ourselves.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool when you think about it.
It is.
My mind is blown. I have so many ideas now.
Awesome.
It feels like we've only just scratched the surface of atomic habits.
There's so much in there.
But even this little bit has given me like a whole new perspective
That's great to hear.
on the power of small changes.
And the key takeaway is to take action.
Okay, take action.
Pick one small habit you want to change.
Mm-hmm.
Write down your implementation intention
Okay,
and start building that system.
I'm going to do it.
Awesome.
You might be surprised at the results.
Yeah, never know.
This deep dive has been amazing.
I agree.
We've learned that small changes done consistently
Yeah.
can lead to huge results.
Huge.
It's not about overnight transformation.
No.
It's about tiny gains over time.
The power of compounding.
Exactly. And anyone can do it.
Anyone.
So go out there, build those atomic habits,
Yeah,
and let's see what amazing things we can accomplish.
I love it.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing,
Keep going.
and keep striving to be the best version of yourself, one small habit at a time.